Immigrant rights groups, they are fighting back tonight after the Trump administration abruptly cut funding used to provide legal aid for unaccompanied migrant children. Now, some of those groups are now suing the Department of Health and Human Services. Our Corey Smith is here with a look at the effort to get that money back. Corey?
Well, Colton, at the end of 2023, nearly 113,000 unaccompanied minor children needed legal counsel, and that number is only growing. So on the heels of this move, some groups that depend on that funding have had to stop representing new clients. Now they're asking a judge to step in and prevent HHS from cutting off the funds.
No more money. That's the message coming from the Trump administration after funding for the program that provides legal representation to tens of thousands of unaccompanied migrant children was cut off.
Our current caseload is around 123 children.
Jessica Pelletier with the Centria's Immigration Legal Assistance Program in Worcester says the sudden loss of these critical funds will be devastating.
The last thing that we want is for any of the children that we service to feel like they're being abandoned.
Last week, the groups were told the nearly $200 million contract that pays for attorneys to represent migrant children was being partially terminated. That money gave more than 25,000 kids access to legal counsel in deportation proceedings.
We have a couple dozen of those cases.
Jill Martin-Diaz is the executive director of the Vermont Asylum Assistance Project, one of the groups suing the government. They say without counsel, these children would be on their own to craft their defense and apply for a pathway to a legal status or protection.
Those are insurmountable challenges for any immigrant to face, defending themselves against deportation. It's especially impossible to navigate any of that if you're a child.
While the court battle commences, some advocates are turning to Congress to see what, if anything, can be done.
This is not who we are as Americans.
Massachusetts Congressman Jim McGovern hopes the courts reverse the cuts because he says, frankly, it's the only option with Republicans controlling Congress.
I'm not particularly hopeful that this Congress is capable of doing anything.
And with an administration committed to implementing its hardline immigration reforms, Martin-Diaz fears some of the most vulnerable to reach our shores will be left in the lurch.
There are kids who are at risk of being banished, separated from their families forever, or sent to countries where they don't have anyone to care for them, who are relying on us.
We reached out to HHS for comment and were told the agency continues to meet the legal requirements established by Congress and court decisions providing protections for immigrant children while in U.S. custody. As we've seen recently, the Trump administration could reverse its decision at any moment. But for now, we'll continue to track this lawsuit as it moves through the courts. For the investigators, Corey Smith, NBC 10 Boston.